Hello there guys, it's Martyn here, and just to take a break between all this university work I'm doing, I thought I'd give you guys a little something to hold you over. Yes, I'm still aiming to make brief history episodes, but they take a considerable amount of time to make, and sadly time is not on my side currently, but I will give you something. So this is, well, it's a jacket obviously, it's my badge jacket, or what I jokingly call my coat of arms, and since February I've been stockpiling various badges to adorn my two breastplates, as it were. Story of this jacket, I got it from Top Man on Valentine's Day this year, because, you know, I was lonely then. But anyway, that was my present to myself, and then I started hoarding badges. Just thinking out a way to do this. I think I'll start up here and I'll work my way around, because this is all where it started, I suppose. So let's start with this one, the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire pin. So as you can see, this is the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Play It pin, which is from the Walt Disney World attraction that existed between 2002 and 2006. It was a live experience, so you'd go in and answer the fastest finger first, and you might have been picked and you won points, not money. So this is a 1,000-point pin that I got, not in the actual ride unfortunately, but I have done the ride when I was 6 years old. It was really fun. But yeah, that's the first pin I ever adorned this jacket with, soon after I got it in February, and then it quickly amassed. So we'll start up here. So I'll try and give a quick little history or story behind each of these. So here is a Cyberman head, based on the 2006 design, started from Rise of the Cybermen Age of Steel in Doctor Who. Nice little print there. This is a BBC radio pin. I'm guessing it's circa around the 1970s or 80s, because it is a vintage pin. It carries the old slanted BBC logo. And yeah, this was at a time that the most expensive badge I got, it was £5. That's the thing with badge collecting. If this is something you want to do, it's not an inexpensive thing to do, it's fairly cheap. This is the Smith coat of arms, that there, the Nignor Numine, being the, I can't remember what the motto is now in Latin, but this is the Smith coat of arms, and with my surname, my original surname being Smith, that is obviously important to me. There's the Union Jack, don't think that needs much explanation. The United Kingdom is the country I live in, represent. As is this, the Yorkshire Rose. I may not sound it all the time, but I live up north, so in Yorkshire, so that's a clear representation there. Now this butterfly, this is an interesting one, because I get so many comments about this, but this actually came about by accident. I was walking to uni one day with a friend, and she saw this on the street and said, "Oh, that'll look good on your jacket." So I scrubbed it up, put it on, and there you go. I don't know what it represents, I don't know where its origin is, but I really like it, and it gets a lot of positive praise, so there it stays. I like having a badge actually that kind of doesn't have a personal story, it's just sort of rooted there, you know? And there's that Doncaster, which is where I live up north, so there's the Doncaster symbol. That's Yu-Gi-Oh! Very small badge, that one, but obviously that is, I grew up on this game, the TV show, the spin-offs, like I love GX and 5Ds, I don't care what any of you say, but that was a very important part of my childhood, and still is. I still have my deck somewhere, believe it or not. There's the Welsh flag, because I am half Welsh on my dad's side, so I felt it important to represent. That is a nice metallic Lego brick, because, again, Lego was a big part of my childhood, whether it was the video games or the actual stuff itself, and Legoland the park. So I remember going to the main Legoland in Denmark, which was very big, but also very fun. So if you ever get the chance, you should pop on over there. You can also get these in a variety of colours and in cufflink form. Keep that in mind. This is the 12th Doctor's jacket. Got that from the BBC store. There's in the shop when it still existed. Very nice metallic pin here. I'm so gutted I missed out on, for the 50th anniversary, they released the 11 Doctors, like their outfits, exactly like this style. It was limited edition. I didn't get it then, and I can't get it now, which is very annoying. But I'm happy with Capaldi's, because it kind of represents Doctor Who as it is now. And here is a clapperboard, because it represents my love for film, for TV, like the visual medium, and my hopes one day to actually get into it. So That's a nice reminder there. That's the unit badge, again from Doctor Who. This is the classic unit symbol used from around 1969 up until, when they were phased out in the 70s, mid-70s, because it changed when they came back in 89. And obviously this stands for the United Nations Intelligence Task Force. Classic Whovian stuff there. There's Spider-Man, my favourite superhero of all time, the first superhero I ever got into. Love the movies, the Tobey Maguire movies. Sorry, Andrew Garfield, you didn't quite cut it for me, buddy. I'm looking forward to Tom Holland, though. I think he'll be pretty good. There's Bart Simpson, obviously instantly recognisable as being one of the family from the long-running show The Simpsons. Bart was my favourite when I was young, growing up, because, again, Simpsons was always on every day, 6 PM, Channel 4. And yeah, just a bit of a bad boy, wasn't he? And there's R2-D2 from Star Wars, because I absolutely love Star Wars, one of my favourite franchises, love the movies. Very excited for Rogue One this December. There's another Whovian one, it's the Seal of Rassilon, which is the Gallifreyan symbol used since about 1976 and onwards. So if you find Gallifrey, that is the symbol you will see. And it's a very nice tattoo for anyone who wants to get it as a tattoo. Moving on to a different fandom now, we have Ravenclaw, which for those who know is Harry Potter related. Ravenclaw is my house. Yes, I have done the official Pottermore test, both the old one and new one, and I am Ravenclaw through and through. So being as blue is my favourite colour, that works out. You can get this in King's Cross Station, there's a pop-up Harry Potter shop, and you can get this there for a couple of pounds. You can get it for all houses, they're very well made, very well recommended. Now this flag, for those who don't know, is the Singaporean flag, the flag of Singapore, and basically I was born there. Yeah, and it's a very nice country, I've been back since. It's just nice to acknowledge where you were born, really, just have it on there. And another Whovian one, this is Bessie, not Brum, I wish it was Brum, but it's Bessie, which is the Doctor's car, mainly used by John Pertwee's third Doctor, but seen occasionally, like in Tom Baker's time and once in Sylvester McCoy's time. And Bessie currently resides in the Doctor Who experience in Cardiff, if that's where you want to go and see her. Now, here's a constant stream, the Thunderbirds, Jerry Anderson's Thunderbirds. These are the original models used from the 1960 show, though I think you can get these based on the new show they're doing, you know, the new CGI/puppet one. So there's Thunderbird 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Classic range, very cheap, very nice to have there on the jacket. Here's a Stitch sandal. I got this from Disneyland Hong Kong when I was there this summer, and I got my best friend. There was a matching one with Lilo as well, so we have matching pins, which is nice, isn't it? That is a pin for Guide Dogs. Guide Dogs is a very important charity, not just to me, but for a lot of people out there. Obviously, I don't require one, but long story short, my eyes aren't the best. And this little guy might be an eventuality for me one day, so it's a charity I'm very willing to support. There's Mickey, of course, Disney's corporate logo, just to show my love for Disney and all things Disney. PlayStation, the first system I ever owned. Very good brand of consoles, very good lineup of games. Nice little symbol to have. The NSPCC, again another charity I support a lot, because it was one that we got introduced to in school when we were very young. And I admire the work they do, so yeah, that's why that's there. And yet another Whovian one, a question mark. I got this from the Who shop in London, which you need to go and see if you're a true fan. And yeah, it's reminiscent of the question mark on the 7th Doctor's umbrella, but I just like it, air of mystery for those who don't know, isn't it? As you can tell, I love a bit of mystery. Then, so I basically completed this set. Not all of these badges were originally on this side, but imagine they were. I was like, okay, I'm done. No, I wasn't. I was so far from done. Right. So, that is the Mary Curie Daffodil. Obviously show support for that and have done for many years. This here duck is a link to the WWF, is in the... the world... You know the logo with a panda on it? For some reason I can't remember, but, you know, it helps animals, and, you know, we should stop destroying habitats and stuff, so it's just a little bit of support. Here's another Star Wars one, mainly based on the new film, Join the Resistance. Again, that was a Disneyland Hong Kong buy, and I just really like the style of it, so again, I thought, why not? That there is Coca-Cola. It says Coca-Cola Music. Coca-Cola is if anything else, like one of my favourite drinks. It's the one I've grown up on. Music's a nice touch because it's like a little niche. I mean, I think originally I was looking for just the Coca-Cola brand, but I quite like that one. So there it shall stay. I like the bottle cap look as well, if you can see around the edges. There's some theatre masks, because obviously that is the profession I'm training in. It's the profession I want to be in. So it's got to represent somewhere, hasn't it? Another Whovian one, that's the Doctor Who Diamond logo. Felt appropriate to have a logo somewhere on there. So there you have it, there's a logo. That is the Liverpool Liver Bird, because obviously currently I'm in Liverpool for my studies, and it's become one of the most important and cherished places to my heart, so I felt it was appropriate to have the Liver Bird sit there too. And there's Lisa Simpson. Why Lisa as well? Well, I started rewatching The Simpsons this year, like from scratch, from season 1. I've got through the first 11 seasons this year, and I just found her so much more appealing as a character than I did Bart. Like, it was a nice change to see that I have Bart over here to represent my love for Simpsons when I was younger, and now my love for Simpsons when I was older, so that's why Lisa's there. That is Video Lux E180 video cassette. I don't know, I just wanted something to do with VHS, because I'm into that sort of stuff, and obviously I was part of the last generation to really have VHS tapes, so I just saw that was really quirky, thought why not. I believe it originates maybe from Luxembourg, hence Radio Luxembourg, but we've got all these flags here, so who knows. There's a Sony Walkman. Again, I'm into that sort of old tech stuff, and I did have a Sony Walkman, not this brand. I believe this is one of the earlier brands released, like in the late 70s, early 80s. Mine was very early 2000s, but I remember having them, putting your audio cassettes in. There's a pin for BBC Children in Need. That's Pudsey Bear, the official logo. This one's a nice old vintage one with these coloured blocks. This originates from 1986, so it's 30 years old this year. And again, Children in Need, I've always watched as long as I can remember. It's something I support. So yeah, that's why Pudsey rests there. There's Leonardo from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's an interesting design from this one. I believe this came out maybe around the time, like late 80s, early 90s. But it's nice to see it is Leonardo, and he's got his katanas, of course. He was my favourite Ninja Turtle. I love the Ninja Turtle franchise. That is why he's there. And there's the Scout symbol for anyone who was a Scout at any point in their lives. You know, promise, be prepared, 3 finger salute. But yeah, I was a Scout, or part of that family, from the ages of 6 to 14, so it was a very important part of my childhood and a time I cherish, so that's why that's there. Moving back on down, we've got Eric Cartman, you care? It's like my best cat, or something like that. I don't know if that was any good. But that's from South Park. I love South Park. It was like the natural progression for me from The Simpsons, that right kind of humour. Call it crude, but I love it. And Cartman, despite being a dick, I find him absolutely hilarious. There's a guy playing snooker. Could it be Steve Davis with that hair? Who knows? But snooker is one of my favourite sports, and considering I'm not really a sporty guy, that's saying something. But I remember my dad taught me when I was very young. It's something I'm always tried to keep up here and there. We have a table in our house, so yeah, it's just nice little momentum. And that's the Belgian flag. And I lived in Belgium for a time when I was very, very young. It's where my brother was born. So yeah, like the Singaporean flag on the other side, it kind of represents just some origins, really. And here is an ice skating boot. Now, I trained as an ice skater for 4 years, between the ages of 10 and 14. And it's something I can still do. I can still hold my own on the ice. Maybe not do as complex stuff as I used to do, but I love the sport. I love watching it, like at the Winter Olympics and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's something I need to try and get back into much, but there isn't a rink around here, so. But yeah, I just love to skate. Here's a poppy, obviously signifying remembrance. This is the 100th anniversary of the Somme, which happened in 1916. Terrible, terrible battle where hundreds of thousands of people lost their lives. But yeah, I wear it in remembrance because I think it's important to remember our history, to make sure things like that don't happen again, and to respect those who gave up so much so we could have our lives, basically. The flag for gay pride and gay rights, of course, that is something I support. I think anyone who doesn't is stuck in the past and obviously not a very nice person, just needs to get over themselves. So that's why I wear that. Another BBC one. This is the BBC World Service pins. I'm going to guess released somewhere between 1988 and 1991, because if you can see, it's got the 3 underlines under the BBC, the blue, red and green, which is from 1988 onwards, and they've got the Computer Originated World logo, so I'm going to guess it's around that time. But yeah, I saw it, I liked it, it's there, I like it, it's cool. This pin is for Great Ormond Street Hospital, the hospital for children. This is somewhere I attended most of my life, in and out, just because of my eyes. It's the charity I support the most, it's the charity I care for the most, it's the charity that means the most to me. And if you could give anything, if you see any adverts or stuff, honestly, even the smallest amount can do so much for the hospital and the children they care for. It's such an important place, guys, I can't stress that enough. I might leave a link to the website below. Here's Cogsworth from Beauty and the Beast. Again, he was a Disneyland Hong Kong purchase. Beauty and the Beast is my favourite Disney film of all time, and out of all the pins they had there, I just like this one of Cogsworth here, so that's why he's there. James Bond 007, I'm a very big James Bond fan. He might be the topic of a brief history video in the future. But yeah, I just love all the movies, the different Bonds, the cheesiness, the seriousness. It's just a great franchise, and if you haven't seen any, this is from around the Dalton era, late 80s, I know you can't really tell, but that's when this was released, around that time. Here's a Dalek, a Union Jack Dalek, how very patriotic. I got this from the Who shop, I believe it's a Who shop exclusive. So, yeah, I wear him, it's another Whovian one, and it was just nice to wear. So, moving down. Here's a Pac-Man one, so we've got the 4 ghosts, Blinky, Pinky, Inky and Clyde, and the Cobra Commander. Obviously representing Pac-Man, representing retro gaming, which I'm very much into, despite being a child of the 90s and early 2000s, which links into Mario here. A very unique Mario pin of him jumping over the Nintendo 64 logo. Again, represents classic gaming, Nintendo, something I'm very much a fan of. And that ties in with the third one, Sonic. Of course, Sonic the Hedgehog is one of my favourite video game characters and franchises. Sega, the Sega Mega Drive or Genesis. Again, just these represent that classic era of gaming, and I'm just very fond of it. Here's Bertie Bassett. For those who don't know, he is the mascot of Licorice All Sorts, which is a brand of sweets here, and I love licorice, but I'm one of few people I know who does. But if you like licorice, you need to get on this, because these are so good. So, being one of my favourite sweets, he deserves a place on the jacket. Here's the Australian flag. Why is that here? No, I never lived in Australia, but I have many relatives who live out there, and I have visited, and I can safely say it's probably my favourite country in the world. It's just such a nice place, everyone's so chill, and I'd love to go back. And right underneath it is a Super Lamb Banana. For those who don't know, Super Lamb Banana is, they're all around Liverpool, and they were a design when Liverpool won City of Culture around 2008. So you can find these pretty much anywhere in Liverpool of all different varieties. They're really fun, nice and quirky. And to finish it off, a Pride piece. You thought there was going to be no MJ, didn't you? Here is a Michael Jackson Dangerous World Tour pin badge. Yep, straight from the tour back in 1992-1993. Because it's got the Pepsi logo, who sponsored him, presents Michael Jackson Dangerous World Tour. I'd seen a few of these on the internet this year, usually going for around £20, which, in my opinion, a pin badge is a bit too much. But I got this for £8 because, according to the guy, the only thing wrong with it, if you had a very keen eye, I'm going to try and spot it now, but there is a slight... Oop, let's get that in focus. There's a C across the eye, there's a slight line there, slight cut, and a slight cut above the eye, and then one down there. But honestly, like, here it is at normal view. I mean, if you can see that, you've just got very good eyes. But no, I'm very happy to finally have something like this, because finding good MJ pins, I think, metallic enamel pins, not plastic, I think is so difficult. So to finally have this on the jacket, front and centre, is something I'm very, very happy with. So yeah, in total, that is 63 badges on the jacket, 63. Why 63? 32 this side, 31 that side? Well, 63 is the year 1963 Doctor Who started, which is the fandom I'm most aligned to. I think that's a nice remembrance. I was going to finish at 64, I was thinking of getting maybe a TARDIS here, but I have enough Whovian pins anyway, and I think to try and cram one more on, it's getting a bit crowded, because when you wear the jacket, it can, you know, push them to the side. So I think 63 is a nice old number to stop at, and I'm very happy with the look of it, how it turns out, and I think it represents quite a lot of me what I support, what I love, and just kind of who I am. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys. If you've stuck all the way to the end, I applaud you. That's some dedication right there. But yeah, there will be more videos coming along the way at some point, I hope, if I can find some more time. But I'm in my final year of uni now, and for those who have been through that, we all know it gets a bit tough, dissertations and all. But yeah, I should hopefully keep content coming to you as soon as I can. So until next time, goodbye my friends, goodbye.